Hey guys, Mr. Holly. We are going to take a look at the problem set to go with today's lesson. Question number 1 asks, a random sample of 15 items were selected. For this data, is the mean or median a better measure of center? Explain your reasoning. So as I look at this data, I see most notably some outliers, some pieces of data that are way out, away from where the data is concentrated. And anytime I have an outlier, I'm going to choose median, because an outlier is going to drastically affect our mean or our average. Okay, a video game developer wants to know how long it takes for people to finish playing the new game. They surveyed a random sample of 13 players and asked how long it took them in minutes. Estimate the median time it will take for all of the players to finish the game. Okay, so while this says estimate, I'm not actually estimating the median. I'm going to find the median. So I'm going to do that by crossing out the smallest numbers. Looks like that. 2, 3, 4 smallest. Now let's cross out the biggest. 1800, 1700, 1400, 1400. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've crossed out the 4 smallest and the 4 largest. Now let's find the smallest, and let's find the largest, and let's find the smallest and the largest. And here is our median. The median is 1,148. That would be the amount of time it would take, the median time that it would take all players to finish the game. Right now it's asking for the interquartile range. I'm going to actually go ahead and put these in order and pause the video, and then we'll find the interquartile range. Alright guys, so I have listed our data from least to greatest, which is probably what we should have done to start with. So I've listed them from least to greatest. I have, again, gone through and marked out the smallest values and the largest values and found the middle value, which is 1,148. So now, since there is just one median, I'm going to exclude that, and I'm going to use, or because our median just comes from one value, excuse me, I'm not like finding the average of 2 or whatever. So here I'm going to exclude that number, and I'm going to find the median of the lower range of data. So if I cross out the top and the bottom, top and the bottom, top. Now I've got 866 and 952. I need to find the average here, which is going to be 866 plus 952, and divide by 2, and that gives me 909 is my lower quartile. And I'm going to go ahead and find the upper quartile over here. Let's cross out the values. Now I've got 1431 plus 1486 divided by 2. It's going to be 1,458.5. And that is my upper quartile. And if I wanted to find the interquartile range for that, I could subtract 1458.5 minus 909, and 549.5 is the interquartile range. Alright, now moving on to the next question, 3. Han and Priya want to know the mean height of 30 students in their dance class. So I think the word there is important, showing that they have the same dance class. They're both part of this dance class. They each select a random sample of 5 students. Han's sample is 59 inches, Priya's sample 61 inches. So each of them have a random sampling of their population. So here's the question. Does it surprise you that the two samples are different? I would say no, that should not be a surprise, because if I were to pick 5 out of 30 people, the chances of us coming with exactly the same height, finding the same average on those 5 is probably low, right? Because there's probably significant variation in people's height. Are the population means different? Well, the population mean would be if we actually found the average of the population. So, this does not surprise me, but are the population means different? No, they are not different. They would be the same. Our sample was different, but the population is not different. The population is the same. It's the population mean would actually be the average height of the dance class. So I think we've explained here, and I don't think we need to go any further. The actual population mean would be the actual average height of the people in the dance class, while the sample mean was different for each of them because they had different samples. Okay. Dot plots that represent samples for two different populations. Estimate the mean. On this one, we actually will be estimating the mean. Remember, in the previous ones, it said stuff like estimate the median for all participants. In that case, we actually found the median, and then we estimated that all the participants had that median age, or that median amount of time playing the video game, or whatever. In this case, we don't know the exact value of this data, so we are going to just estimate the mean. And if I look at this, where is about halfway? I would say somewhere in here, somewhere in this range. Maybe 25, maybe 26. Let's estimate 20. I'm just going to say 25 as a good estimate. And then if I look at this, I've got about half of my data over here, and kind of right here is the middle. I'm just going to estimate 50. So 25 and 50 would be my estimates for that. Based on the dot plots, which estimate is more likely to be accurate? Now again, this goes to that concept that we don't really need to focus on. This is that idea of mean absolute deviation. And all that you would even know is that the closer data is to the average, the more predictable or reliable it actually is. So which one is more likely to be accurate? Well, the one where the data is closer to the average. So because this just has a deviation of about 10, while this has a deviation of 25, 22 in either direction. So sample 1 would be more likely to be correct when we're estimating. So, all right. Thanks, guys.